Hello, budgeters. I had one of my new subscribers ask me about my sinking funds, and I just thought maybe I would do a quick video explaining my sinking funds. Before we jump in, let's go ahead and address the question of what are sinking funds. And sinking funds are just accounts that you set up within your budget where if you know that you're going to have an upcoming expense, you can start setting aside money in advance so that you are prepared for that upcoming expense. So that is pretty much the gist of sinking funds. So jumping in, I have two categories for my sinking funds. I have my regular sinking funds, which are things that we absolutely do need. And then I have our leisure fund sinking funds, which are things like these are fun things that we know that are coming up, like Christmas, for example. We can save for that all year round, but it's not necessary that we have Christmas. Like we could exist and live without Christmas. So jumping in to the sinking funds, we'll go ahead and start with my regular sinking funds. So my home repair sinking fund account, this is set up because our roof is going to need to be repaired within the next 5-10 years. So we don't have the longest amount of time. And so obviously $25 a month isn't going to get us to that 15,000 mark that we're projecting for our roof repair, but right now we're just getting the ball rolling. And so that is this for sinking funds. So this will be coming up in about 5 or 10 years. We're really going to need to be aggressive at this savings goal. Our next sinking fund is for a medical deductible, and we're going to need our medical deductible is $2,575 each year, and so I just know that if we were to hit our deductible, that would be how much money we would need per year. So I just save that all up, and then if we use it as we use it, it comes out of this account. So that is the medical deductible account. And really, I'm hoping that there will be some years where we don't have to use all of our deductible, where we don't hit the deductible, so that we can just let this sit for a while and have that sitting in that account for when we do need it. Our car account sinking fund, this one isn't as necessary as some of the others because right now our cars are both in okay working condition. But if one of them were to break down, we're anticipating that we could buy a decent used car for about $10,000. So this account is just slowly accumulating. Our dog account, he has some shots coming up in the spring, so we're just setting aside $10 a month right now, preparing for his shots and just having that in the back of our minds that that's coming up. Our yard care account, I just put $25 into it every month, but this spring we'll need to buy fertilizer for all of our we fertilize 4 times a year, and it's cheaper if we buy it all at one time. So we just kind of set that aside throughout the year so that we can buy all of our fertilizer. And we also use this sinking fund in the chance that like something breaks down. Like last year, our lawnmower broke down, and we spent $100 out of this account to fix it. And so it just is backup money for any yard stuff that's needed. Fingers crossed that we don't have any huge expenses this year, and we can buy a plant or two. That would be nice to kind of expand our yard work and garden growing. Prescriptions and therapy. This one honestly could be one of our regular expenses. This one really, right now, we know that we're spending about $400 a month on prescriptions and therapy. However, there are times where we don't need as much therapy, so this account just kind of accumulates, and we use it as we need it. But right now, we're kind of consistent. But in general, we before just kind of had this account set up as a savings account that we would use and use it as we needed it. There wasn't like a foreseeable amount, which is why it could really be more of a regular line item. But for now, I'm just kind of using it. This is kind of in a way like how people use the envelope system with Dave Ramsey, like the cash envelope system. This is kind of like my cash envelope systems. They're kind of sinking funds, but they're also kind of like my cash envelopes. Children's needs, for example, like I just know every month I'm going to put money into a children's needs account, and I am planning to use this for like swimming lessons. My son's almost 3, so he's going to be at that age where we can start registering him and some stuff. So this also could be, we could call this like a cash envelope kind of category. Babysitting account, this account is going to accumulate. We'll need money in this account for the summer when I'm teaching swimming lessons again, and so this will be an account that just kind of builds up. And I know I just told you guys that I'm going to put my son in swimming lessons and I teach swimming lessons, and that is because before I introduce him to our pool, like swimming a lot in our pool, I really want him to learn how to swim somewhere else, so that he doesn't think that he can go in our pool whenever he wants. And I really want him to learn. I really plan to have him learn kind of group lessons somewhere else, and having a good head start before the summer hits. So that is why I'm not teaching my little boy swimming lessons, is because I want him to have a really good grasp on that before I introduce him in my classes. So that he's kind of in that mode of ready to learn and ready to swim by the time I get him. And clothing and hair, again, this is an account where there's no like end goal that we have in mind, but it's just like a cash envelope where we just kind of put money in and it keeps accruing. Dental account, this one does need a lot of money. I'm actually not sure how much our dental visits will be. My husband hates the dentist, and I actually haven't gone to the dentist since I had dental insurance. And I've had really good teeth. Like I've never had, like I've had really good teeth my whole life. Like I've never had like any problems with cavities or anything like that. Like I've had like really minor cavities, but we'll need to start going. And so this is an account that just kind of keeps accruing. Our vision account is the same with that. My husband just bought a bunch of new glasses. He needed glasses, and so this account is just going to build up again. Our passport accounts, again, my husband will need a passport for his work potentially, and I just thought this would be good for us to all have money set aside for passports, just because you never know if something might happen. And I feel like passports are always kind of like this purchase where nobody ever thinks about them when they plan a trip, and then it just is this big expense that kind of creeps up on you. And so I just thought it would be fun to have money set aside for passports if we ever do get an opportunity to go somewhere. At least that wouldn't be something that would stress us out, because that would be like $440 for all 4 of us to go. Our Amazon Prime comes out once a year, and it's like I think $120, and so we just put $10 a month away each month. For years I forgot about Amazon Prime, and it would just kind of sneak up on me, and I never had saved for it. I planned ahead, so this is just me planning ahead for it. Our food storage account. Food storage is just something that we like to have extra on hand in case we're ever out of work, or if there's like a major disaster. We just like having things on hand so that we're prepared, so that we can help other people. Like, for example, my neighbor, she asked if I had a can of chili, and I had, 12 cans because I had food storage, and she's like, I'll buy you another. I'm like, nope, don't worry about it. Like, I have a lot extra. So, and we always just have extra of things on hand, and it's nice to give things like that to people and just have extra on hand. Okay, so those are our main sinking funds. Like, these are the things that we absolutely like need. And I think after my husband's passport, like we get that amount for him, we could actually put that in our leisure sinking fund. But these are the things that are things that we kind of need for a little family to function. And then our leisure sinking funds, we have an anniversary account where we put $50 aside each month, and that is what we use for our anniversary, and our anniversary is coming up in January, so we're excited about that. We have a family vacation account, and that gets funded, and we haven't planned a family vacation for next year, but it's something that we'll probably do and figure out where we're going to go, and then figure out how much money we'll need for that. Christmas, obviously, we always plan and prepare for Christmas, and we put $100 aside each month for Christmas. A house wants account, this would just be the account where if we have anything that we want, that we would start saving for in this line item. Right now, we don't have anything that we desperately need. We have some other stuff going on in our lives right now, so that kind of got nixed. Electronics account. My husband just got a new phone, and so hopefully our electronics are good for a bit, but we just always add to this because you never know when a phone's going to break down, or a computer or something like that. Our midlife crisis account. So this account was created when my husband kind of was going through a midlife crisis, and we have been going to therapy, and they've given us like a lot of good books and resources to use. And so I just created this line item for things like books. Like, he got Audible so he could buy an audio book. We used this account when we went to like a couples seminar, just some different things that we needed or wanted to do just to help with my husband's midlife crisis. A Disneyland Someday account we set up just because Disneyland is like 11 hours from where we live. And my father-in-law lives in California, so it's feasible that like we could plan a Disney trip at some point in the next couple of years. And so we just always kind of add to this account for fun. Right now, maybe we have enough for one person in our family to have a day pass, but it's just something where it's just a fun idea, a fun goal to have. Our Disney World 10 years account, this account we actually will never put money into, budgeted money into. This account gets funded through our credit card reward money, so we can get checks back in the mail, and so we've just been putting that into our Disney World 10 years account. So in about 8 years from now, that's when it will be 10 years from when we created this line item. Then that's when we plan to take a trip to Disney World. We have a health and fitness account, and this is just something set up so that we can have a little bit more gumption to go out and get stuff done and be a little bit more healthy. And so we don't have any big plan. I would like to have a gym membership someday, but for now we're just using this money to go out and do little day activities, whether it's go to the driving range and hit a few golf balls in the spring, or like this month, I don't know, maybe we'll do some sort of like indoor racket sport. I don't know, but it's there so that we can use it, so that it's encouraging us to be more active. We probably actually will go swimming and take our kids to the pool and take turns swimming laps. That would be fun. Birthdays and holidays account. This just is something that builds up all year. I've budgeted this account so that we just put $75 in each month, and that covers all of the birthdays and holidays excluding Christmas. So everything besides Christmas. So this $18.46 that's left in here is for New Year's Eve food. And eating out. This really also could be, honestly, this could be one of our regular costs, like one of our monthly expenditures, but I put it in the leisure fund because if we needed to, we could easily cut it out of our budget. And so I just kind of have the money sitting in here like a cash envelope. Impromptu giving. Again, there's no end goal for how much money we want to have in here, but again, I just kind of use it like a cash envelope, and as we see people or situations, we can give accordingly. And the same thing for my husband's Mad Money and My Money. Again, we are just kind of using these like our own personal cash envelopes, but most of our purchases we do make either online purchases, or we do use our credit card, and then we take it out of here and we pay off our own accounts from the budget that we have. Our family funds and reunions account is just anytime there's something fun going on, we can use this money, or if we have a reunion coming up, then we just start stockpiling all of our money. Like once we have a family reunion coming up, we just start saving for that in this account. And then date nights, again, this could also be one of our regular line items, but we just kind of treat it like a cash envelope where it's at right now, because it again is a leisure thing. Like it's not something that we absolutely would have to do if we were living on a bare bones rice and bean budget. So anyway, these are our sinking funds. Sinking funds really technically should be like where you're saving for a specific amount. So I guess I could say these are like our sinking funds and our electronic cash envelopes, right? Like this would be the equivalent of Dave Ramsey's cash envelopes, but we just don't do the cash envelope system. We just keep track of it on our spreadsheet, and we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem going over on our credit cards. We've actually never been in debt as a married couple, and I graduated from college debt free, so we actually don't have a problem with credit cards. Don't tell Dave Ramsey that. Don't tell him we have credit cards still, but that is just kind of like what we do, and it works for us. But this is just kind of like how we still follow the Dave Ramsey system-ish. We're Dave Ramsey-ish people because we have the different accounts set up for our different saving goals, and then we also have things that we are specifically saving for that would be our sinking funds. So I hope this answers some of your questions. If you guys have any more questions about sinking funds, let me know. If this wasn't clear, I can also remake the video. I'm not quite sure how clear it all is, but yeah, I hope it helps you guys out with your budgeting and kind of figuring out your system and what works for you. So I will talk to you guys later, and have a great day. Bye.